Welcome back to the Psychology of the Moon, everyone. I'm Sage, and I always say this, but tonight feels extra special. We're diving into something that's both cosmic and achingly personal: how the moon mirrors our inner world. I mean, you know this about me, Ethan, but as a kid, I used to just sit by my window and stare at the night sky for way too long. It was weirdly comforting, almost like the moonlight could actually reflect what I was feeling inside. All those tidal waves of emotion, the highs, the hidden little lows.
I love hearing that story, Sage. It's kind of wild how something up there, so far away, has this pull, not just on the ocean, but on our internal tides too. The thing I keep circling back to, and maybe this is the science brain kicking in, is how in both astrology and psychology, the moon holds this special place. In astrology, it's like your emotional fingerprint, right? And in psychology, maybe it's that subconscious part that reacts before you even put words to what you're feeling. Am I getting that right?
Exactly. The moon isn't just, a rock in the sky. In both fields, we see it as the keeper of emotional memory. Like, it stores how we felt growing up, what made us feel safe or not safe, and all those patterns we, sometimes unconsciously, play out. For some people, their moon sign totally shapes how they find comfort. For example, Cancer moons, emotions like waves, nurturing, kind of endlessly deep. And then Aquarius moons, it's almost like they have to think their feelings before they can really feel them. It's all survival in these totally unique ways.
Yeah, my partner actually has an Aquarius moon, and I swear, some days it seems like she analyzes her emotions so much. I'm like, are you feeling your feelings or writing an essay about them? But I mean, that doesn't make it less real, right? It's just her moon's way of working things through.
Exactly. That's why I love this topic. No two people have the same emotional rhythm. And for me, realizing that changed everything. It took me from feeling like maybe I was too much to just being tuned to my own moon, my own cycle.
So here's where my brain likes to poke holes, but I promise it's in a friendly way. It's easy to get wrapped up in the poetic side. But how does this actually help, down here on Earth? When you talk about moon signs and emotional cycles, what stops it from being, just a kind of cosmic personality quiz?
Good question. I think people assume astrology is just for fun memes, but knowing your moon sign actually can become a tool. It's like, the more you tune in, the more you recognize your emotional patterns. Science would call that emotional self-awareness, or even conditioning. Think our subconscious, right? We repeat what's familiar. The moon, symbolically, invites us to acknowledge our feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. So instead of thinking, why am I still upset about this? We can go, oh, okay, my tides are high today. Time to be extra gentle with myself. It's not about judging. It's about acceptance.
And it lines up more than you'd think with psychology. I mean, we talk about emotional conditioning all the time. These learned patterns, emotional responses we carry without always knowing why. It's almost like what you're saying. We gotta catch ourselves in those moments. Sometimes I wonder, where does intuition end and pattern recognition start? Or are they even different?
Ooh, I love that. I think, and I could be way off here, intuition and subconscious learning, there's a lot of overlap. It's like the moon gives us language or images for these cycles, which psychology explains as learned responses. But the cool thing is, when you blend them, there's more room for, compassion? You stop fighting your emotional nature and start dancing with it. Even if you have two left feet some days.
Yeah, I think I've stumbled over my fair share of emotional dance steps. But honestly, I like how bringing science and symbolism together softens the whole process. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about getting curious about your own patterns.
Which brings us to my favorite part, the actual what do I do with this stuff? Like, how do we get from lunar metaphors to real change? One of the simplest ways is just to observe. Go outside. Really pay attention to how your moods rise or rest during a full moon or new moon. Even just jotting down a feeling in a notebook under the moon, or noticing how you react to things, it deepens that connection to yourself. Sometimes I'll literally leave a crystal out to charge under moonlight. It's not magic in the scientific sense, but it's this little ritual that brings me back to what I'm actually feeling.
I kind of love that. Even if I don't always feel the energy bubbling off crystals, it's the act that matters, right? Anyone could just as easily take a nightly walk or sit quietly and kind of check in. There's something about the rhythm of it, the steadiness. Like, you realize emotions aren't good or bad, high or low, just waves you're riding.
Exactly. The worst thing is feeling like your mood is too much or not enough. But when you look at it as part of a cycle, a tide that naturally ebbs and flows, it's so much easier to accept whatever you're feeling. No labeling, just noticing. And that's where real healing starts, you know?
Totally, and honestly, if people just took a little time tonight, put the phone down, and tried to name what they're feeling out loud, that's like 70% of the work. You don't need a telescope or a star chart, just curiosity.
Exactly. So whether you're into moon journaling, crystal charging, or just watching the sky and breathing with it, just honor your emotions. All of them. It's the tiniest rituals that teach us we're part of something bigger, and that every feeling belongs.
All right, I think that's the perfect note to wrap on. There's so much more to explore. We'll keep finding new ways to blend science with soul, logic with a little moonlight. Sage, thanks for sharing your stories, as always.
Thanks, Ethan, and thanks to everyone listening. May you find comfort in your own moonlight. And until next time, stay curious and gentle with yourself. See you next episode, Ethan, and I hope to see you here as well, Magic Soul.
Can't wait, Sage. Take care, everyone. Keep surfing those tides. Goodbye.